I got it.
Jesus. Nailed it.
It looks like it's going to pour outside.
It does. It's getting really dark.
It does.
No. Not happy for it?
It looks like it's
no,
going
it's
to
just
pour.
been gloomy.
Gloomy
It's
and
supposed
doomy.
to rain all week. Good one.
Gloom and doom.
We're glooming and dooming. Anyways. So.
Anyways. So it's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes.
The month of May. In the year of our Lord 2021.
Yes.
I'm just saying, be aware of your mental health.
We all need to talk about it. I just want to say this. It is okay to have feelings. And
Yes.
it is okay to talk about your feelings.
True.
Doesn't make you any less of a person.
Not at all.
No. It doesn't make you any less of a person.
Thank you.
Nailed it.
Just to reiterate, are you less of a person?
No.
No.
I'm just telling you how I feel.
Yeah.
Because I can't help how I feel.
Exactly.
And you should know how I feel.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you
Agreed.
how I feel.
Agreed.
Okay. Mental
Agreed.
Health Awareness Month, everybody.
Hashtag Mental Health Awareness Month.
Mic drop.
Hashtag 2021. Hashtag mic drop. Hashtag
My brain.
What?
Yes.
What'd you say?
My brain.
I thought you said migraine.
Oh,
Hashtag mental health.
Yeah.
Migraines. Sometimes that gives you a migraine, those feels. Sometimes it does.
Because you cry so much.
But that's okay.
You're so stressed out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clearly
We're all
we've been
migraine
there.
sufferers.
Clearly we've
Yeah.
been there.
Yeah.
Millennial anxiety is a real thing, even though Lindsay is a zillennial.
Yep.
Well, you thought I was going to say Gen Z.
Yes.
You thought I was going to say
I was waiting for it.
You were about to correct me.
Lindsay is on the cusp of Gen
No.
Z and millennial.
I respect your identity.
and
Thank
she
you.
actually
As a
really is
millennial.
not your typical Gen Z.
I'm not.
Like all the shit that the Gen Zers do these days, like Lindsay is like a year later. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, well, even I caught up and before you. Get off my shoes.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Don't
Sorry.
yell at her.
These are all white new sneakers.
They're new snakes.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Sorry.
So yeah, Lindsay's not Gen Z.
No, I'm an in-betweener.
She's a zillennial.
She doesn't like to identify as Gen Z.
I'd rather not.
I mean,
Meanwhile, I'm over here embracing the 90s. Glad that Earth tones are back. Not
Yes.
glad that Crocs are back, but that's neither here nor there. Lindsay loves Crocs.
I love Crocs.
So
I can't decide if I should. But
I think you
haven't
should.
Committed.
Just
can't
put them
do it.
on. That would be your decision
Wow.
maker right there. I'm just saying.
Lindsay and Gabe love Crocs.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
we're
know.
a Croc family.
So does Dad.
Yeah.
Dad does
Dad
too, yeah.
likes his Crocs. He likes to mow
Yeah.
the lawn in them. He's so cute.
He is cute.
He's pretty cute.
We're going to get him some for, next month.
For
What?
Father's Day?
Oh,
Is that what
Yes.
you were
I
trying
didn't
to
know if
say?
I was going to, I didn't know if Dad listened to us, so I didn't want to sit here and be like, yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
allowed
They
to
don't
listen to
listen.
us.
Yeah, we're going to get him some camo Crocs. He likes Gabriel's camo Crocs.
Camo Crocs.
Aw.
So we're going to get him
Cam
some.
Crocs.
Yeah. Cam Crocs. Yeah.
Camox.
Oh my God.
Keep going. That's it. That
Oh,
was it. I
that's it.
settled on
That's all she
Camox.
had.
So,
it.
Nailed it. Nailed it on the Camox. So, yeah. So it's Mental Health Awareness Month. I've talked about my mental health before. You have too, Lauren.
I dabbled.
You dabbled. You dipped your toe in the mental health arena, the mental health conversation.
Mm-hmm.
As did I.
Mm-hmm.
Lindsay did not.
Mm-mm.
No.
Lindsay's not there yet.
No.
If I may, Lindsay is a vault of emotions.
I am.
Is that fair?
That's fair.
Can I say that?
Yes, you can say that.
You're a vault of emotions.
Yes.
Lindsay has emotions.
Yes.
However, they are often 99% of the time locked up
Yes.
until she is good and damn ready to talk to someone about it.
She is a glass
Yes.
case of emotions.
Yes.
That is never opened.
ever.
A glass jar, if you will.
If anyone gets
Sealed
that
shut.
reference,
A canned jar of emotions.
Yes.
if anyone gets that reference, just know that that's the only part of that movie that I know.
Yeah.
And I have not actually seen the whole movie through and through.
Well, that's a good part.
Okay.
That's a good part.
That's just like that one part that I see. Lindsay's like a little rosebud. She's just this tight little flower where all of her emotions are at. And she's slowly starting to bloom and pop open because she's getting a little bit more vocal. You're getting a little bit more vocal. You're funny as
Trying.
shit.
Is that fair?
Thank you.
You're fucking
That's
funny.
fair.
Okay. You say shit. I crack up at you all the time. I'm like, where the hell was this like 2 years ago? Because you're
That's
fucking
true.
funny.
Thank
So
you.
you're just like this little rosebud that's just like about, and then one day you're just gonna be full bloom, and you're gonna be right here with us, fucking crows.
I
Okay.
think you're already there. I think you're that. And if you don't know, go watch the tortilla making YouTube video on our YouTube channel. I'll talk
Lindsay had a lot of Jim Halpert moments in that
That's
video.
Lindsay all day though. She's very savage. People don't understand how savage Lindsay, aka Cindy, is. She's very savage. She's very cutthroat. She doesn't take crap. Sorry. But she's also very nice.
Thank you.
Very sweet person. Yeah. That's Lindsay.
Thanks. Yeah, squirrels. Thanks.
What about me?
Oh. Okay, so
I'm just
Lauren-
kidding. I'm just kidding. I just thought that was funny. Well,
You're pretty
I'm
nice.
on what?
You're pretty nice.
Oh, thanks. Oh, you're kind of
Oh,
nice.
thanks.
You're not that bad. You're pretty nice.
Most of the time.
If I were to judge, yeah,
Most
you're
of
pretty
the
nice.
time. I mean, you're my sister, so I love you and accept you.
Oh,
no
so you're
matter who
biased.
you are.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you're like nice. You're
Yeah.
pretty nice because I'm your sister.
No, that's not what I said
No,
at
that's
all.
not
first of
it.
all. But thank you.
Thank you, Sandra Malchoff. You can go home now.
Wow.
Wow.
And that's on Lolo Savage.
That's on Lolo Savage.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on my 5th month of therapy.
Nice.
Yes.
Consistent therapy.
Yeah.
Except she had to cancel this last appointment that I had because she had something going on. So I won't see her for another 2 weeks. I just write shit down as it happens so I don't
Yep.
forget.
Therapists have feelings too. So she needs a mental health break too.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah.
That's been fun.
Yeah.
Self growth. Did I say that right? Self growth.
Yes.
There you go. Is really hard.
Yeah, it is.
It's very hard.
Hey, but you've been doing great.
Thanks.
You have been doing great.
Thanks. But yeah, it's very hard. And I just have to tell myself every day it's going to be okay. And most of the time it is. So,
Yeah.
Are you still journaling? I haven't written in a while. I was actually thinking about that the other day. I should probably write. But it's also one of those things where I write the best when I'm super emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been fine. Like, I've been chilling the last couple of weeks. So I haven't really had the... But then I've also told myself, too, you don't always have to write about the bad stuff or, like, when you're sad or whatever. Like, you can
That's true.
document
Yeah.
the good stuff, too. So I just have to make more of an effort to do that.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Okay.
it's always nice when I do, though.
That's good.
That's real good.
I'm also trying to, like, mix it up. So I did this a couple weeks ago, and I actually really liked it. I think it was, like, a Friday or Saturday night. I wasn't doing anything. So I went and got some food.
Mm-hmm.
No, I lied. I went to the park and I parked, and it was kind of like nighttime, so be careful, but whatever. I was aware. I parked in the park and I journaled in the park while I
Oh,
sat in my
that's
car. And I put
fun.
on like really nice, like lush
Tunes.
music, like just
Lush lo-fi?
Yeah, instrumental,
That's my
Nice.
like
favorite.
low chill beat music.
That's my favorite
And I was just in the
Spotify
park
playlist.
and I was just like journaling.
That's
It was very nice.
fun.
It was a nice aesthetic.
Did you have an apple pie?
Huh?
Did you have an apple pie?
I went to Taco Bell after. But I can't do that anymore. My stomach hates me. But anyways, but that was really nice. And
That's
then I went for a
awesome.
drive and I like cruised and I like listened to music and it was like, it was a good night.
Yeah.
Good.
Solo
That's
dolo.
fun.
So I'm getting better at having more fun just being by myself
That's good.
and still doing whatever the fuck I want. I think that's been the ticket. That's the golden ticket.
Yeah.
Just do whatever the hell you want.
Well,
like,
that's your
damned if
mental
you
health
do,
journey.
damned if you don't. You're going to piss someone off regardless of what you do. So you might as well just do whatever the hell you want.
Live your
Because
best
at
life.
the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter.
Amen.
You want to know why? Because tomorrow's a new day.
Mm-hmm.
Your day always comes to an end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow's
Very
a new day.
true.
I agree.
So do whatever the fuck you want.
Live your best life, literally.
Do whatever the hell you want. Do whatever you want.
Live your best life.
Well, so I'm going to get a little deep, a little sad because so I saw something really traumatic kind of happen to me the other day.
I'm sorry if you hear my dogs playing. Continue.
At work, there was a really bad car accident in the parking lot of where I work.
Go on.
And one of the people involved in the car accident ended up dying, unfortunately. He was actually the driver of the car that lost control and ran into the parking lot and crashed into these cars. So I went to the dentist. The dentist office that I go to is not far from my office. So when I was leaving home, I was passing my work and I just so happened to look over into the parking lot and there was all of these fire trucks. I saw 3 cars totaled. 1 car was flipped over, all of these ambulances. So I'm like, oh my God. So I call like my staff that are working to see like what the hell is going on. And no one answers. So I turn back around, I get into the parking lot and there's just a crowd of people and they had this man on the ground and they were trying to revive him and they couldn't bring him back. So I saw all of that like live in person, like
Jeez.
right there. So yeah, life is short. Do whatever the hell you want.
Wait, that's
Because it
intense.
literally just ends.
Yeah.
Like there's no.
And that was
They think that
unexpected.
he was a middle-aged man, because the news was there, like it was all over the news. They think that he had a heart attack while driving and just veered and lost control of the car.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. This man was just driving. Who knows where he was going? He could have been going to the grocery store or something like that, and then boom, he just heart attack dies.
Yeah.
Like
That's so
literally do whatever
sad.
the fuck you want. Just be happy because
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And may that man rest in peace. And I feel so bad for his family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at in my self-love journey, mental health awareness month, May.
nice.
The year of our Lord 2021.
The year of our Lord 2020. Amen.
Yeah.
2021.
2021.
Oh my God.
Wow.
My God.
I still forget that last
You
year
need
was
to
2020.
you need to get over
Oh, me too.
2020.
Like
Me too.
I still refer to last year as 2019. And it's crazy to think that 2018 was 3 years ago.
What?
2018 was 3 years ago.
Yeah, I definitely block out
3 years
2020
ago. Yeah.
also.
This time last year, I was out of work, at home, figuring out, actually, no, I was working from home at this point, but I was still like at home. We were still in the middle of quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
You still had to wait outside. Remember? You had to wait outside before you could go into the grocery store.
Yeah.
Talk about
I
mental
remember.
health. 2020
Seriously.
was a doozy
God.
for mental health.
I remember the first time when I went to the store with a mask on, I can still remember it like it was yesterday and just thinking like, this is fucking weird. This is weird.
I thought the same thing.
This is weird. And the distancing, they had the social distance stickers and like all the cleaning supplies everywhere and just capacity limits,
Yeah.
only so many people, drive through only.
Waiting to get in line waiting in line to get into a grocery store is the weirdest thing I've experienced probably in my life. The weirdest and most ominous thing I probably ever experienced, because you're waiting in line to get food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
and obviously we are very privileged because, you know, we live in a city where most of us don't have to do that. You know, we're a bustling city or whatever. But there are people that have to do that every single day.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I've ever had to wait in line to get food. And I mean, I bought it, you know, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but then when you get up to the line, I remember some stuff was sold out. You didn't have everything.
Yeah.
For
We literally had to
anyway, it was
prepare.
just
well,
very-
there's
we're just so lucky,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
it was crazy.
It was.
That was weird. Very
I agree.
weird.
Well, and then too, I remember walking around HEB and they had the automated voice over the intercom announcing like every few minutes, you know, let's keep Texas safe together or whatever. Social distance, wash your hands for 20 seconds, wear a face mask that covers you. Like, and it's just like, and it's this robot voice. It was very just like, I feel like I'm in, I feel like I'm in the end of the world. Everyone was moving slow. It wasn't as crowded. Yeah, things are running out. You've got limits on how many things you can take of certain items. And then this
employees
message is
are
playing.
posted up at the doors,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because you had to enter one way and exit the other.
yeah.
So employees were posted up everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Tell people to put on a mask. all
Make
that
sure
stuff.
you were distancing, things
Mhm.
like that, even though people never did.
In
No.
the
And then
beginning, they did.
And then that
I feel like.
message over the intercom of just like, we're in a global pandemic.
Yeah.
Yada,
it's
yada,
very
yada.
weird.
And you're just like, this is fucking
very odd.
creepy. It was creepy, eerie. I was like, this is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the streets are all empty. No one's driving. Everything's closed. It was insane. And you had no idea when it was going to end.
It's very weird.
Very crazy.
And that's crazy
And then,
on your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Just to circle back around,
Yeah.
that 2020 did a number on all of us.
there were
So
just a
just
lot
take
of
care of
monumental
yourself.
things that happened that
'Cause
year.
The what?
So many monumental things that happened that year.
Mhm.
The pandemic, the Black Lives Matter movement,
Mm-hmm.
the elections. Like, that was all in one fucking year.
Yeah.
Back to back to back to back.
I do
the
wonder
entire year.
if, you know, we went into quarantine and some of us either lost jobs, unfortunately, like Lauren, you know, in the beginning and stuff. And
I was furloughed, but, you know,
right.
I still didn't know. But I didn't know if I was going to go back. That was the
Right.
scary part.
But like stuff happened and I think we had more time to look around. And I wonder, well, that's got to be a part of it. If that was a part of like some of those big things that happened during quarantine and while we were at home and while we were sitting there. You know how you're moving constantly and then you're forced to stand still and you're anxious because of the pandemic and you're anxious and there's COVID. And then you're forced to look at all the world and how shitty it can be.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then stuff happens. And then, you know.
Oh, yeah. I know. I don't think there's one person that I know that didn't struggle in some way during the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I have a couple of friends that have told me, like, yeah, I'm in therapy now. Or last year was,
Oh, yeah.
last year was insane. And it really was. And that was the start of mine, of
Mhm.
me realizing that I relied too much on other people to make me happy. And so I didn't realize that I didn't really like myself until I was by myself.
Yeah.
And that started in quarantine because I was by myself.
Yeah. You're
I wasn't
alone.
living at home. I was still living with my ex and he worked during the day. So I was by myself. But I mean, we didn't really, that was an
There's
interesting
also,
situation, but we didn't really interact. So yeah, I was by myself. I couldn't go anywhere or see anybody, I should say. I would go on drives a lot,
Yeah.
but yeah, I had to entertain myself. I had to look at myself too. And then that's just internally. Yeah. Then you have everything else that's going on in the world. And yeah, you're forced to watch it
Mm-hmm.
because you got nothing else to do.
Yep.
And so I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that I really feel and I hope that now that the millennials are getting older, because I feel like we're a pretty aware generation. Tell me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
mean, I think every generation has their issues, you know. So I think that
but I feel like
from my experience, there are a lot of millennials that want to do good and want to be better and want to recognize certain things that maybe where people would blow it off potentially before,
Mm-hmm.
you know, especially in politics or like, you know, social justice movement, stuff like that. But then I see a lot of people in my generation that go the opposite end and are still refusing to acknowledge things and are choosing to be ignorant. So I mean,
I don't know. I just feel like,
but again, there's problems in every generation. That's never going to
Mhm.
change. It's never.
well,
There's
yeah,
always
because you
issues.
breed it.
Yeah.
You know, we breed it, and
Yeah, there's always issues in every.
I don't know. I
generation.
just feel like, I just hope, and like with the Gen Z and stuff like that, like there's just more accountability being held.
Yeah.
Like we saw so much in 2020. We really did see, like
Well,
I don't think we knew.
Keep in mind you stand on shoulders, right? So like the millennial generation, I feel like is a lot more woke than our previous generation, who was a lot more woke than their previous generation. I mean, we just keep standing on shoulders, you know, because we're climbing the mountain as we go on, and we're just standing on shoulders, and that's great. You know, you make a little bit move ahead, which makes it easier for the next generation to move ahead, and then the next, and you know, and Gen Z is going to make it easier for the next one, you know, to just come in there, because, you know, our parents, we don't give them enough credit for the 60s, 70s, and 80s and the good stuff that did happen within those time frames. And for me specifically, the LGBTQ movement would be nowhere without the people that fought for it in the 80s during the AIDS crisis. You know, like there were some powerful figures there that gay people of today are standing on their shoulders to be who they are today. And, you know, and it's not perfect, but, you know, we're just constantly trying. So what I love about the Zillennials is they're doing something that I've been doing for years, and they're pissed. Like, they're mad. I've been mad. I came out of the womb mad. So it's just nice to see.
That's accurate.
That's very true. I've always been very
Ashley
mad.
has the one thing that I can say about Ashley is she has always been Ashley. Like like that like Ashley has always been the fucking spice rack, man. Like she's always had it. She's always had it.
I've always been pissed. I've always been mad. I don't like to see things. But speaking of mental health, part of my mental health journey is that I know this about myself, so I have to try to accept it, but also, you know, check myself, is I go directly to anger. I've done that my whole entire life. I've never been violent. I'm not a violent person, but I'm angry. I am. So when I see things go wrong, or I see people be mean to each other, or people be mean to me, I am the first one to tell you. I've always been that way. But I'm also a very communicative person. I like to communicate. That's another piece of the puzzle. Anyway, things that I've found out about myself over the years. So what I love about the Gen Zs is that they are angry and I love it. They're pissed. Yeah. They're the first ones in the streets. They're the first ones marching. They're the first ones making signs. Yeah. The millennial generation I struggled in because, and I am this way too, we're very emotional. We're a very emotional generation. We like our emotions. I love my emotions. No one can take that away from me. I don't give a flying fuck if you don't like yours. I like mine. Yeah. And so I'm just going to ride with them. Whatever. This is a wave. This is a wave over here. And that's how I've always been. I love my emotions, but I also carry a lot of anger that I'm constantly trying to decipher through, you know, what's real and what's not, and what's valid and what's not, and kind of decipher through that anger. So anyway, point that I'm trying to make is I appreciate, and I'm proud to be a millennial. I'm proud of the work that we've put in on the society, because I think we've done a lot of work too, just like every other generation, like Lauren's saying. But Gen Z is going to put, you know, just going to put their own work in. And I just love the passion that I see. And I love the righteous anger that I see. Yeah, is real. I love, well, too, and with the advancements of technology, I think that's really boosted Gen Z's approach with change, because there's it's getting harder and harder to hide, I feel like. And now that's where that accountability piece comes in. Now y'all, Gen Z, I feel like that's the generation that's like, why does it have to be like this? Why the fuck is it like this to begin with? How have we been able to get away with this for so fucking long? And why is everybody okay with it? You know what I mean? Why? And I love that, because it's like, it doesn't have to be that way. Yeah. Or they'll just tell you, no, it doesn't have to be that way. Nah.
It doesn't.
No, we don't have to do that.
That doesn't. And then it gets me thinking, like, you're fucking right.
It
like,
doesn't.
We have been living like this forever. Like,
you're right,
why is that?
It doesn't have to be that way. Yeah.
It's like the light bulb. Just the light bulb. It's like a new one every day. I'm like, you're fucking right, dude. You're fucking right. God
Keep
damn
going.
it.
Yeah.
What else? What else?
Yeah.
What
else can we change?
But then
What else can we change up in this bitch? Yeah.
And that's
how
on
it is.
mental health.
You're right.
But it just validates how shitty this world is. God, we are in shambles.
Yeah, we
just
are.
everywhere. It doesn't matter.
You can't escape it.
It doesn't matter.
But also how amazing and resilient that it can be, especially people.
There's the flip side of the coin.
Well, especially people. But
Yeah.
but to recognize one is to recognize the other, and to accept it, and just accept that we're very strong. And that's through my mental health journey this whole time, because I've been through some crazy ones.
Yeah, she has.
You just find out how strong you really are, strictly because you chose to wake up and be present. That's the only thing that matters. Like Lauren's saying, just live.
Yeah.
Just live. You don't owe anyone shit. You don't need to pay anyone shit. You don't need anything.
Yeah.
But yourself, and to take care of yourself, because you're the most important thing. Yeah, it's very mental health is important, because a lot of people don't know that.
No.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
Most people don't think that.
The biggest thing that I learned from therapy, so I struggle pretty heavy with anxiety. I literally, and this was another reason why I got into therapy, because it just got to the point to where I've been wanting to go to therapy, but looking for therapy itself is overwhelming. That's an overwhelming process to begin with. So you just kind of shy away from it. But anyways, I got to a point where I could not stop focusing on shit that wasn't happening. Like I would get tripped up over shit that happened in my past, and then I would stress out over my future and trying to figure out where I was going to go next, and trying to figure out what the next step was going to be.
Yeah.
I had no idea, and I literally had no idea how to just focus on what I was doing in front of me. And so one of the things that my therapist taught me was just how to be mindfulness. Focus on what you're doing.
Important.
Don't think about stuff that's already happened. You can't change it. It already happened. And you don't know what's going to happen in the future. So why are you stressing over something you don't even know is going to happen or not? Yeah. That's where my anxiety lies in a lot of things. So she was like, just start focusing on what you're doing now. And that's being present and just literally. And that's where that whole idea for me was just doing whatever I wanted. So it started as little as I want to go to Target. Okay, well then you should go to Target.
Yeah.
No one's going to stop you. No one's going to make you feel bad for going to Target. Don't feel bad about spending money.
Yeah.
Like balance, like, your limits, like just go to fucking Target.
Yeah.
So then I went to Target every day after that. Because I wanted to go to Target.
Because why not?
Yeah.
I think I want a milkshake. Okay, then go get a fucking milkshake. That's literally what it was.
Yeah.
And that's how I just learned how to be present.
Yeah.
I will say the last couple of weeks have been kind of testy for me. I don't know why. I don't know if it's like a season thing. It's a menstrual thing. I don't know. But I was just really testy, and I kind of lost it for a minute. And then I had to remind myself that it's all in waves. You have your down moments. You have your up moments. Doesn't always last. Doesn't last forever. That's another thing. Nothing lasts forever.
Yeah.
So if you're sad, it's not going to last forever.
Yeah.
You're going to have your moments. But I'm fine now. But yeah.
Good.
That's my takeaway. Thank you so much for having me. I can't wait to come back.
You probably didn't hear any of that because you didn't speak loud. But thank you for your contribution. We appreciate it.
Someone is going to hear me, and they're going to know exactly what I said. So,
yeah, someone's not going to be me when I edit it. I don't know.
Okay. Well, then there's the hidden message.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Anxiety is
A
crazy
bitch.
thing. Yeah, that's
A big
crazy
one.
thing.
And she knows it.
Oh, she fucking knows it. Yeah.
Ask me if she cares. She doesn't care. She doesn't care.
Well, no, anxiety cares too much.
Does she?
That's a problem with
She
anxiety.
doesn't care about
She
me.
cares way too much.
She doesn't care about
She
me.
cares more than you ever need to care in the world of caring. She cares so much that she reminds you about every little thing you did wrong all the time. That's how much she cares.
Yeah.
And her memory is deep, and her memory is strong. And she's not a she. She's a he.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Oh my God.
I just had a panic attack the other day. So side note. How do you roll through your panic attacks, Lauren?
Oh God.
Or do you? Or do you have any tips and tricks?
So my panic attacks are different. My panic attacks are, I just hyperventilate. I can't, it's hard for me to catch my breath, and then I cry. Just like, it's as if I feel like I'm like a shaken bottle of soda, and you just pop the lid and it just bursts. Like, that's literally how it feels. Like, I just get this really, really bad, overwhelming just feeling of emotions, and that's what causes me to cry. Because I just, like, it just gets, like, caught in my throat. It's in my chest, it's in my throat, and I'm just like, okay, I just gotta, sometimes I get a little dizzy, and then it's hard for me to catch my breath. Sometimes my panic attacks can go, I think the longest panic attack I had was like a 2-3 hour panic attack.
Oh no.
So I was in that state for about 2 to 3 hours.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
That happened during quarantine, actually. And I was laying down and I just could not stop fidgeting. Like, I was just laying in bed. All of my muscles were like really, really, really tense, and I couldn't stop moving. I was just really fidgety. I couldn't catch my breath. I couldn't stop crying, and I was like that for like 2-3 hours. So the next day, oh my gosh, the day after a panic attack, it literally feels like I was like drugged from the night before. My body is just so tired and drained and weak, and I'm just, because I was just amped up for hours the night before. But for me, I have to let myself just feel it. Because I get more anxiety when I try to deny it and try to pretend like it's not happening, and I try to brush it off, and I try to prevent it from happening, if you will. Sometimes I can control it. Sometimes the practicing mindfulness has actually helped bring me down, because my social anxiety, it's gotten worse. And I don't necessarily know if it's pandemic related. Probably is. Or maybe just like, I don't like being in large crowds anymore. And I've been like that for a couple of years. And honestly, it's because of all the mass shootings that we have. So I don't like, it's hard for me to want to go to like really, really crowded spaces now, because I'm just like, anyone could fucking pop off right now, any minute. Who is it gonna be? Like, I have to scope, so I get anxiety with that. And it just comes on like all of a sudden. I'll be walking. I've gotten really anxious, on the verge of a panic attack at the grocery store. And they had a little bench, and I had to sit and just try to grasp like where I was at, because I was just about to lose it. My pulse started racing. I started getting really sweaty. Then I start to hyperventilate. Then I start thinking that I'm dizzy, but I'm not. So then I start thinking that I'm going to like pass out or something. And like, I just spin off out of control. And so I have to bring myself down. So when that starts to happen, I just try to focus on where I'm at. Okay, you're in the store. You're going to go grocery shopping. You're going to get your stuff. You're going to go home. You're going to put on TV, and you're going to lie down, and you're going to be fine. And I literally just have to tell myself that as I'm going through. But when I do have them, I just have to feel them. I just have to let it out.
Yeah, that's like me too. That's mostly what I have to do. The one that I had the other day.
You had one the other day too?
Yeah, I had one.
I had one. When did it wasn't last week. It was the week before. No, it was last week. I had a panic attack at work for the first time in like 2 years.
Is that when you called me?
Yes, that's when I came over. Yeah. When was that? Like a week ago?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago?
Like
a week ago? That was bad. That one I did not feel coming.
I had one.
Subconsciously, I think it was there. But that one kind of hit me out of nowhere. Yeah. That was fun.
I had one, and I don't know. Sometimes I feel them coming, and sometimes I don't. And I'm assuming that's because something probably triggers it when I don't feel it coming. Like something probably happens, and then it just comes on. But in this case, I don't know what it was. I didn't feel it. I don't know what triggered it. I don't know. And Bianca and I were talking, and I think like planning things, because I think we were planning my birthday and stuff, and it just got, I don't know if that was overwhelming, or, you know, sometimes it's also work because you're overwhelmed at work.
Mhm.
And anyway, I don't know what it was, but I just felt it coming. And I just was, when I have a panic attack, most of the time, I also have an overwhelming feeling of emotions. But it almost always includes confusion, which I've never heard from anyone else. I don't know if anyone else experiences that, but I get very confused. I don't know what I'm feeling, why I'm feeling, how, not completely how I'm feeling. Like, am I angry? Am I sad? I'm a person, because I just talked about it earlier, who gets angry at something, you know. So if I know, you know, I have a conviction and I'm like, you wait, you're not being nice to me, or you're not being nice to them, or you're not, I have a conviction, and if I can hone in what I'm upset about, I can usually, you know, talk about that, whatever. But in moments of when I have panic attacks, I don't, so I have an issue with not knowing what it is. So then it makes me very confused, and then in return more anxious, which makes me panic more in the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know what it is. And so I remember Bianca was there, and she was like, what is it? What is it? Like, I'm like, I don't know. And I just kept saying, I'm so frustrated. That's the only emotion I can pinpoint. It's overwhelming,
Yeah.
but I definitely know I'm frustrated. And I just kept crying, because I also cry usually, because it's just overwhelming. It's an overwhelming feeling. And it's almost like you can't help it.
Yeah.
And I breathe very hard, and I'm crying usually, and it just becomes like too much.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I just didn't know what to do, and I got confused, and I usually just have to write it out. I just have to wait for it to be done. That one did not last very long, thank God. And I want to say it only lasted maybe like a couple of minutes.
Okay.
And then I was able to kind of calm down and be okay. But yeah, I haven't had one in a while. It had been a while before that since I've had one. Something that used to trigger, I've kind of gotten mostly over it. But one thing that used to trigger my anxiety attacks or panic attacks was Bianca leaving to go on a trip. So me being alone. And I think the reason why is because I'm not distracted.
Yeah.
So I'm forced to be alone. I'm forced to be alone with myself, and I'm not distracted with anything that we're doing or anything that we have planned. That's why COVID and quarantine was hard on me in the beginning, because I wasn't distracted as much as I normally am. So I know that that's definitely a trigger for me, is distraction. I like to be doing something.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's tough. But, you know, I've tried to do things over the years to make sure that I don't get to that point. I think I've never done therapy. I'd like to do therapy. I think it's cool that Lauren's doing it. I don't see anything wrong with therapy. And honestly, there is nothing fucking wrong with therapy. Let's keep it real. There's nothing wrong with it. If you have a problem with it, it's your problem, because there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with talking to someone and getting out your feelings. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think everybody should be in therapy. It's crazy to think that we're expected to live in this fucked up world and be okay with it. Like,
Yeah.
like, so much shit happens in this world, and now we see it because it's all over the internet and shit like that. Like, we've been so exposed. Like, okay,
Oversaturated.
yeah, like, we're desensitized to shit like that. Like that poor man that I saw on Friday from the accident. I just saw him. Like, yeah, I got a little anxious, and I did have to walk away. Like, I couldn't stand there. Like, people were literally standing there just watching it, and I almost feel like they were also in shock, but they couldn't look away, type of thing.
Once I was gonna ask you, weren't people like
were like
crowded?
Watching. Like, it was a crowd of at least 20 people just like watching what was going on, and I had to walk away. And then when I came back, you know, that's when they announced that he didn't make it. But I've seen such crazy shit on the internet that it didn't even really, it was just like, oh my gosh, that's so sad. Okay, I got to go inside now.
Yeah.
And there's this.
And do my job. I have to compartmentalize the trauma I just saw, because I have a capitalistic job to do.
Right.
That's another piece of it.
So I have to go back inside to make sure my staff are good for me to go home. Meanwhile, there's this gentleman who just passed away and is laying on the ground surrounded by people.
Yeah.
I've seen so much shit on the internet. I've seen, you know, ISIS blow people's heads off. I've seen people get shot up point blank. I've seen kids get shot in school shootings. I've seen that. Like I've seen dogs get brutally beaten in the streets of China.
Oh,
like
that's
I've
horrible.
seen shit like that. So it's just crazy that people think like, oh, therapy is too much. You're too dramatic if you go to therapy, or you're weak if you go to therapy. Excuse me. We get exposed to a lot of shit on a daily basis, and I'm supposed to just take it?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. That's abnormal. That's part of the problem.
And like Jaclyn Hill just said in her most recent video, you should not have to be hardened.
No.
You shouldn't have to be
calloused.
calloused.
She said that.
She doesn't want to be calloused. And I love that.
Yeah. I want
I
to
love
be able to
that.
be sad, and I want to be able to let people know that I'm sad.
Congratulations
and
to Jaclyn Hill, by the way, for expressing herself in a very positive way, I felt, in her most recent video. And she did speak a little bit about mental health, even though I don't think she called it her mental health. But she spoke a little bit about mental health.
Yeah.
And it was very nice. And I congratulate her on that and for showing and for being so open.
Mean, once again, we're human and we're all built the same. We
Yeah.
all have the same emotions. We all feel the same shit. So there's nothing it's crazy that mental health has been so stigmatized because it's part of your body.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this before. We study everything else about the body. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden our conscious isn't a part of our body, and we don't look into that. The emotional part of our brain is just, oh, well, that's what it is. Like, what the fuck? Like, you're not going to study that? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, it is okay to talk about your feelings. It is okay to set boundaries. It is okay to not take people's shit, because you don't have to. You don't have to. Like, you have the choice. Like, it's okay.
Yeah. You bring up a good point, by the way. A point that I wanted to bring up. So thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome.
Yes, I appreciate
For
you. I appreciate-
Effortless segue.
Yeah, effortless. Completely unplanned segue. No, it really wasn't
really,
planned.
it
though. We
wasn't
didn't-
planned.
Yeah, we
I was
didn't
gonna
plan
say,
that.
but really.
Anyway,
I'm just talented. Thanks.
it would have been effortless if we wouldn't have gone on this rant of
Would it
humor,
have been?
of commodity.
Okay, don't lose your
Comedy.
train of thought.
Okay, yeah, what I was going to say was, good call, Lindsay. Thank you for reeling it back in. Okay, so what I was going to say was, you had said that you don't have to do things. You don't have to, pay attention to people that you don't want to pay attention to.
You don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Yeah. So reminder, and whoever needs to hear this, that's a TikTok trend, Lindsay, Gen Z. Okay. So I don't know who needs to hear this. Okay. But you also, that sentiment carries over to social media. So you don't have to follow or be friends with or associate with at all on social media with fucking anyone. If they make you feel bad, whether their content makes you feel lesser of yourself, or they just in general are negative, or, don't have the same beliefs that you do, contradict your own beliefs, then don't fucking follow them.
Yeah.
Don't follow them. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Because let's keep it real. You're going to go on social media every single day. We all do it, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. We're on social media every day. YouTube. So if you're following people that make you feel like shit, why?
That's putting you down.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't make yourself feel like shit. And that includes family and friends. I don't care. I've ghosted family before.
Yeah,
and if I ghosted you, family, there was a reason.
Yeah.
So I love you. I'm going to still talk to you in family gatherings unless you say something stupid. And then I might walk away. But
let's be real. They probably don't even listen to this, so you don't even have to explain yourself.
okay, so then what I'm saying is I still love you. Yeah, I still love you. I'll still talk to you. That's no problem. But you make me feel bad, and I don't want to look at your content. And your content either pisses me off or makes me feel bad about myself, makes me feel bad about who I am. And an example of that is definitely political commentary. If you post about loving particular politicians or or, you know, whatever, I don't know, platforms, I don't know, whatever. And I am specifically speaking about Republicans, if I'm being honest. That makes me feel bad, and I'm probably not going to follow you, and I'm probably going to block you and take you off of my social media. And I don't care if you're family or friends. It just doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah.
Because of what that stands for. What that stands for me is very negative. It's very prejudiced against who I am. A, you know, gay Hispanic woman. Okay, that shit is negative to me, and it makes me feel bad. And it makes me feel bad that you believe it about me too. So I'm gonna love you from a distance and not on your social media. And I'm gonna unblock you and take you off my social media. Yeah. It's that easy, because I'm on social media every single day, just like everyone else is, just like you are and Lauren is. And everyone that's listening to this is on social media every day. Don't make it a shitty experience for yourself. Yeah. Make it a good one. And if you're feeling bad about something about yourself, like let's say your self-esteem is low, you don't particularly love your body. You should love your body, but let's say you don't. Go start. There are tons of body positivity pages of just men and women who are rocking their bodies exactly how it is. And you will find a body type that matches your own. Go follow that badass bitch and just love everything she does. And I promise you, in a few weeks or months, you will start to look at yourself and go, oh yeah, I look like her. I look like that badass bitch on the internet. Okay, I feel better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what Lizzo is. That's what Beyonce is. Yeah. And a lot of Zillennials and Generation Z might not know this, but Beyonce was considered thick and overweight at one point in her career, because we were following very thin people around on social media. Beyonce was considered big. Break that down in your brain. She's freaking gorgeous, and they used to Photoshop her legs and her ass and stuff. That's insane. That's insane.
But also, too, so side note, you won't miss these people, just by the way.
No, you won't.
You won't even notice.
You fucking won't. You're only following them because they're popular.
Yeah, and you won't even notice that they're on your feed. I unfollowed the Kardashians like months ago. Probably, actually, no, I unfollowed them last year because they were so quiet during the BLM movement, all that stuff. They were fucking pins and needles, and I got so mad because I'm like, you're thriving off of Black culture right now. Your whole fucking shit, your whole empire, whatever the fuck you want to call it, was built on Black culture, and you're not gonna say shit. Okay, I'm not following anymore. I don't miss them. If I'm interested, if I'm curious, I may go look at their pages, but like,
you can always go back and look.
I don't follow them to see them consistently.
You can,
and I don't miss them, and I don't miss it. So you're not gonna miss it. So don't do that to yourself if you don't have to do that to yourself. Like,
and don't feel like you have to explain yourself either.
No, like nobody fucking cares. No. They don't know that you're unfollowing.
They don't deserve to know.
They don't even notice that you do follow them. It doesn't matter. Once again,
there's no need for that.
I have a common theme here,
and I'm gonna be honest. That includes family and friends, because no one has ever asked me if I'm following or if I'm following. They don't care. Do you care? Do you look at your followers all the time? No. Probably not. You know what I mean? So don't feel obligated to. And obviously, there's caveats to this. If you have a negative perspective and you want to follow negative pages, well, I'm sorry. I think you might have other issues that you might have to reconcile with yourself. But I'm speaking of just. You're just doing your thing, trying to live your best life, trying to be positive, and you have all of these pages that you're following that just you log into Instagram or to social media or TikTok, and it just doesn't make you feel good. Yeah. You know, these people that, you know, are putting content out there that just doesn't make you feel good. It doesn't make you feel positive about your body, about your emotions, about yourself in general, about, you know, the way that you're living, you know, like anyway, that's just what I'm talking about.
You literally control your own social media.
Oh God, yes. And I purge, not sponsored by the movie The Purge that we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
But I purge pages all the fucking time. I am constantly going, nah, I'm really tired of seeing you.
Yeah.
Remove.
I have like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how people can follow so many people.
Mm-hmm.
I am not that interested in all that shit. It's almost overwhelming. Like when people have like, yes, I follow about 400 people, which I think is like still a lot. But sometimes I go through my followers because I do purge too.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually genuinely like all 400 followers that I have, the ones that post like regularly. So I don't really, but I'm not
That you're following.
that I'm
Not
following.
your
Yeah.
followers.
But I'm
Okay.
not constantly following new people.
Yeah.
Like I don't go like on my explore page. I don't look up like I'm not constantly, and I see some people that constantly just follow people and I'm like,
Mhm.
that's just too much. Like I'm not interested in a
I
lot
don't
of stuff
care.
like that.
Yeah.
I don't need 5 Instagram pages of the same thing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's so many, like for instance, I follow a Target account and a Walmart account. There's so many Walmart and Target accounts that you can follow. I don't need to follow 12 of them. They all post the same shit anyways. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I don't know. So it's just like I personally just follow what I want and who I want. But yeah, I purge.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I haven't talked to you in years. Bye. I don't really
Yeah.
care to see you.
Yeah.
Or you haven't really posted in like a year. Okay, then I don't need to follow you. You're not even active. Like, you know, like
Oh yeah, I completely agree.
but I had something and I was going to say it and then I went off with another thought and now I
Sorry.
forgot.
Was it me?
Yeah, kind of.
Sorry, I
You cut me
apologize.
off. You cut me off in one of them and I was like, I lost it.
I cut you off, or I caught you off.
No, you cut me off.
Oh, I cut you off.
It was
A
something
little.
to do with.
My bad.
Well, that's why. Oh, I keep hitting
Oh,
my
was
mic.
that when you were interrupting me and I told you wait, I wasn't finished with my thought?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it was. Oh.
No.
No, that was the only time she got you off.
My bad. My bad.
That's when that jumped into my head that you shouldn't explain yourself.
Oh, well.
Oh well.
Well, you're doing great.
Thanks.
So, you're welcome.
But yeah, life's too short. Be positive.
Thank
Live your
you,
best
Lindsay.
life.
Thank you, Cindy, for summing
Do what
that
you
up.
want.
Yeah.
What else? Who
Yeah,
cares?
Just do what you want. Yeah, and just try to be more positive with stuff.
Mhm.
Like that's
With
another thing I've
yourself.
been trying to actively do too. Like, don't look at the glass half empty. Look at it at like half full. You know, like I even try to do it as little as at work. Like, oh my god, I have 6 hours left, and it's like, yeah, but you've already been here for 3. Like, you only have to be here for 6 more. Like, it's like
Yeah.
how fast the time's already going. Like, it's already 1:30. You know what I mean? Or like something like that. Like, just always trying to look like at the flip side of things, and that
Yeah.
actually helps a lot. That helps a
It
lot when
does.
you're
I agree.
actively
It
being
does.
like, you know, whatever about anything, like literally, and it's just so helpful. So I recommend doing that too. Like, just look at the bright side of things.
I agree.
Okay, but what if it does work out? Then what?
Well,
You're gonna celebrate it.
I'm going to say this earlier, but y'all were in good convo. But when you were talking about, Lauren, about how sometimes you focus on the past or you'll focus on the future or whatever, I just saw a tweet the other day actually, and I see it often where it said something like your daily reminder of taking a step back and looking at where you are in your life right now and self-reflect, because a lot of us, we do that. We live in our past, or we think about what we could have done different, or what if this happened, what if that, I wish this happened, or whatever. You ponder on stuff that did happen, and then we're constantly thinking about, okay, what's tomorrow? I need to plan. And I'm like that. I'm very guilty of this. I'm a planner. I always try to plan ahead, and I'm always setting goals for myself and where I want to be, but I always forget to sit back and see what I've accomplished already.
Yes.
And what, like, because 5 years ago I was setting goals and wishing and hoping for myself to be where I'm at today. And I'm not enjoying it. And that sounds harsh, but I am enjoying it, but I'm not recognizing it, and I'm not being as grateful as I should be for it, because
Yes.
I'm not
You're not being
thinking about it.
mindful.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not being
living
mindful.
You're not
You're
living
thinking
about-
So, right.
right.
Yeah.
And
So you
that's-
have to do that.
And that happened to me.
You're planning for the next big thing.
Right.
Yeah, and it gives you a lot of anxiety. So
Mhm.
when I moved back into my parents' house,
Mhm.
I had this huge this, and I was telling everybody like, oh, I'm only going to be there for a couple months, because I had been living on my own for a few years. So to go back into my parents' house as a full blown adult, like, I just didn't want to be there. And so, you know, I moved in and I was like, okay, I'm going to give myself 3 months, 4 months, and then I'm going to be out, because I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. And I was constantly thinking about moving out. So I was starting to buy stuff for a house and just all this shit, right? And then the months go by and I'm just like, oh, I'm fine. Like, I'm actually okay. I'm comfortable at home. Like, luckily mom and dad are really awesome and I don't have to pay rent and they take care of me and I get spoiled. And it's like I'm super grateful to have that, because I know a lot of friends that have to move back in with their parents will ask them for like a couple $100 a month, or they'll ask them to buy groceries, or they'll ask, like, to pay for stuff. And not saying that that's bad, but I'm just grateful that I don't have to worry about that. That's just extra money I can save. You know what I mean? So I had to start looking at that. I'm actually comfortable in my room. I've always loved my room. My room is my little sanctuary. You know what I mean? And I just love being in there. Mom calls me a hermit crab, but just I'm in a little shell.
Oh my God, you are a hermit crab.
And you've always been
hermit
like
crab,
that.
and I like being in a little shell. So once
Hermie.
and then I started mapping out like my finances and seeing like, okay, if I stayed for 6 months, this is how much money I'd save. If I stayed for 8 months, this is how much money I'd save. And then I'm just like, I will move out when I fucking feel like it, because it's not that bad. It's not as bad as I thought or I was anticipating.
Riding the wave.
Right. So now there is a little pressure right now, because I do want to buy a house. And right now, because of the COVID stuff, they've had a lot of these like grants and financial assistance to help buy houses. And that ends at the end of the year. So now I'm kind of like, okay, now I feel like I'm on a time frame and I got to figure out when to start looking and how much money I'm going to have, yada, yada. But I'm doing pretty good. So once again, being mindful, I was able to relax more and be more comfortable in my surroundings and actually realistically plan shit out.
Yeah.
Because at first I feel like I was being too irrational and I was trying to make a lot of big decisions really quickly. And I just had to take a step back, self-reflect.
Well, you were planning for the next big thing.
Check your environment. Check your environment and just be smart about it.
Moment.
And
mindful.
Which isn't bad.
No, it's not bad. That's not bad.
Planning ahead, setting goals. I think it's great.
But
that
give
you should
yourself
set goals.
time.
Right.
Give yourself time.
Right. Give yourself time. Live in your moment.
Yeah. And like you were saying, Linz, also remember that goals don't have to be like now.
Right.
And just like you and Lauren was saying, to some extent, like make a list. Okay, so spend a couple of hours out of your weekend or an evening or whatever just doing something fun. Like just do something fun. It doesn't have to be like now. I need this now. If I don't get it tomorrow, I'm immediately anxious.
Right.
If I don't find that next job, get that next opportunity, unless you're miserable, that's a whole nother thing. I get that. I've been there. If you then give yourself time, like you're saying, and live in the moment and practice gratitude and mindfulness. Because I can only speak for me, but I'm very lucky. And sometimes I do forget that because I'm so anxious in the moment of like what's missing. What am I doing wrong? I do that a lot. What am I doing wrong? I'm doing all this list of stuff wrong. Yes. What could I have done different? Yeah. And you get in your own head.
Yeah.
And it just helps to take a break. I completely agree. Lists are also very helpful. Side note, lists.
Yeah, they are.
And journaling is also very helpful to me too, like Lauren's
and
doing.
Self-affirmations. Lauren.
Self-affirmations
doing
are
that
good.
too.
Self-affirmations, I've kind of fallen off, so I kind of get back onto that. But yeah, like writing stuff down. So I was going through a journal that I found, or a small journal that I kept in one of my little dressers or whatever. And I remember, okay, so some of my friends at work were kind of into like the astrology stuff. So like we kind of go with like our signs and like zodiac, whatever. I know, whatever. Some people think that's lame. I don't
Live
know.
your best life.
Kind of interesting. But anyways,
astrology is super interesting.
Yeah.
Taurus season.
Pisces
Leo.
makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of fucking sense.
Oh my
Anyways,
god. I'm a Leo rising. I'm a Taurus. What do you call it? A Taurus sun and a Leo.
I don't know. I have to look at
rising.
mine. But anyways,
That explains my outgoingness. Go.
So
Sorry.
anyways, I've been seeing a lot of stuff of like law of attraction, manifesting, putting positive things out in the universe, and the universe will return it. Like what you put out, the universe will bring in. And like yeah, kind of makes a lot of sense,
Yeah.
actually. Like,
start
if
doing
you
it and
think
you're like,
negatively, you're
yeah.
gonna just do shit and like you're just you're not gonna do shit that makes you happy.
Yeah.
If you're thinking positive and you're just like, I just want to be happy, okay, well then do shit that makes you happy.
Isn't it also about like focusing your intent? Like that's like
Yeah,
setting
like,
intentions
so-
because if you say it out loud and you're like, I will be here in a year or two, or I will do this in a year or two, or whatever.
Speaking it into existence.
Right. Then you mentally will start to do things to get you to that
Yes.
point. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So
It's a thing.
But okay, but this is the trippy part. So this journal that I found, I wrote it on November 11th because it was 11/11, and so people, it was like a big thing in like the astrology world, like a astrology TikTok, like manifestation TikTok.
Witch
Everyone
talk.
was like,
Oh, wait,
witch
no.
talk. Like,
Yeah.
make sure you write
Witch
down
talk.
your goals on 11/11. Like write it down,
Astrology
whatever.
talk.
So this is what
Nailed
I
it.
wrote down.
Astro talk.
Okay.
This is what I wrote down. I wrote good health, family good health, financial stability. There was like a couple
You
other
had
things I
another
forgot,
one,
but those
yeah.
were like the main three
Oh
ones.
my God. Thanks for putting this in your manifestations.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all are in my manifestations.
That's nice.
Yeah. Y'all are in my So
Oh,
my health,
right?
so my health, my family stability. Those were
Yeah.
the top three, and then there was like a
Financial.
couple other ones. I found that note 4 months later. I was just flipping through it. And I just
Forgot
found
it was
it,
there.
and I wrote it. My health, good health. I just got vaccinated. I got my second shot. So I was fully vaccinated at that point.
Mm-hmm.
My family health, you guys started getting vaccinated. That was when
Shout out.
mom had already been vaccinated. Dad was working on it. I think you had gotten your first shot. Like, y'all were getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
And then financial stability, it's still not a lot in comparison, but I have the most money to my name than I've ever had in my entire life because
Yeah.
I've been at home and I've been saving.
Well, and you can do what you want,
And
which
I
I
can
feel
do
like
what I want. Yeah.
You have financial
know?
freedom.
Yeah.
which
For
is
now,
very
for
nice.
now,
yes,
for now. I'm trying to figure out how to make that work so that way I always have the financial
Yeah.
freedom that I want. But anyways,
Well, and remember the waves. So if you ever get stuck again, just remember it's a wave, and you just
It's a
gotta
wave.
get
You gotta
over
keep
it, and you gotta.
but it tripped me
Yeah,
out
write it
because
out.
I found
it out.
this note.
T-shirt.
Wow. It tripped me out because I found this like 4 months after I had written it, and every single thing, for the most part, on that list had come true.
Yeah.
And it tripped me out. I was like, oh my, I'm a believer. Like,
Witch talk.
It was fucking
Astro
crazy.
talk.
So
Astro
yes,
talk.
write shit down.
Astro talk.
Write shit down. Make it intentional.
Not to be
Do
confused
what you
with
want.
Astros
Live your best
talk.
life.
I was
Tell
just
yourself
thinking
you
the
love
same thing.
yourself. What the fuck are y'all talking about? Like, I am trying to go.
No, you're doing great.
No,
I can't,
we're
'cause I got the two
listening.
little
No,
squirrels
you're
at the
doing
bottom.
great.
Just
You're doing great. Love
Live your
yourself.
best
Live your
life.
best life. Be mindful. Live
no,
the
fuck
moment.
off. Glass half full.
Glass
You're a
half
believer.
full.
You're a boss ass
Manifestation.
bitch.
You're-
Amen.
And even if you're not a boss,
Ride the wave.
you're doing great. Because
No, honey, everyone's a boss. Everyone's a fucking boss. No. You are a boss. You're a boss. You take control of your life. You do whatever the fuck you want.
you're a boss with your life. Yes, you're a boss with your life. For
yes.
And cut. I'm just kidding.
Sure. Wow. Wow.
Wow, we really are squirrels.
Oh my God.
But we just came up with really good ideas. So
Yeah, we have like
you're
5
welcome.
T-shirt ideas from this whole
and
podcast.
no one is gonna take them.
no one's gonna take them.
All Talk Pod trademarked.
Yeah, copyright. All talk.
All
Copyright.
talk pod trademark.
Trademark, copyright,
Pod.
all the rights go to us.
All the
All
rights.
talk
all
pod.
talk pod.
Oh my God.
Nailed
I
it.
think that's it. I think we nailed it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, done.
Done.
Dunzo.
Dunzo.